So what are you saying, people? It's another episode of The Social Worker and the Mentor. Hey guys, just to say, yeah, listen, I'm seeing you, man, flicking, you're touching, you're liking, subscribing, which is wicked, yeah. So, thank you so much for following our podcast and our brand. As I was saying to you, we're getting so many guests that are coming in, but if you want to be a guest, you email thesocialworkerandmentor@gmail.com. You're also big up to Rob as well, because listen, guys, I know you're probably thinking, where's Rob? All I'm saying is we're switching things up in it. So don't worry, Rob is doing his thing, us two are doing our thing, but we're switching things up in it. So yeah, different layout, different settings, different variations in it. So yeah, you like, subscribe, and you share. Right. So people, yeah, listen, I'm going to say something about this guest here, yeah. For the longest, I think it's been maybe 2-3 years, yeah. I've been asking this particular guest to come on the podcast. So I think God's answered my prayers, as to her coming on it. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, yeah. I'm going to let her introduce herself. But listen, you guys should know who this person is. You fully said. So introduce yourself.
Where do I start? I'm Irene.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, I'm a social work lecturer. But I'm sure a lot of you probably know me behind the scenes for the social work planner and social work and brunch.
Yes.
One of two. There's a lot of things that I do, which we'll talk about today. But at the moment, this is, who I am. It's obviously evolving, developing. And Nana has been trying to get me on this podcast.
Exactly.
And yeah, I've always been a behind the scenes person. But yeah, I guess it's time to, come out my shell.
But also, wait. So you mentioned, wait. Before we go into these things, you mentioned the brunch, you mentioned social work planner.
Yeah.
But there's another thing that you're doing as well. Come on, Irene. Listen, guys, you see what I'm trying to say here? Irene, come on, man. There's another thing you're doing as well, innit?
The newest one?
Come on, yeah, the newest one.
Okay, so for the longest, if everyone knows me, two of my passions are teaching, which is obviously why this brand is birthed, and good outcomes for young people and ensuring young people are given the same opportunities that people who weren't in care are given. And for the longest I've been trying to go into the field of supported accommodation, children's homes and things like that. So we're here. So is live. Ofsted registered supported accommodation for young people. And you know what? My aim is to literally turn their lives around, man, and ensure that they get the best out of life, because obviously they're stigmatized naturally. But they still have the same gifts we have. But it just takes somebody who's passionate enough to kind of bring it out of them. That's what we're about.
Now, guys, can we just clap for that, please? You know what I'm going to say? Rob, you see the applause in the back? You see that? Listen, I'm just gassed out.
I would have never said anything about that.
No, come on, man. Come on, you have to. But listen, I'm just so happy that, Irene, we've got you on the podcast, because I want to basically start about your planners, because I remember we first met, was that 4 years ago, innit?
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I remember I kept on seeing you flashing up. Actually, I saw you with Social Bridges.
Yeah, Social Bridges when we first started out in 2014. Yeah, that's when the original planner, first social work planner first came out.
So what kind of made you want to start these planners? What was it? Did you see a gap?
No, yeah, it was a gap. So basically when I first became a social worker, there was no help as an ASYE. There was no help. I had 6 managers in the space of 3 months at one point. I won't say what local authority it was, but I had a really, really hard start to social work, and I literally had to find my feet. But in finding my feet, I thought, you know what? I don't want other people to go through what I went through. So I'm going to make something that's going to give them the cheat codes to get through their ASYE.
You see it there?
So it's always about, and I'm a business head, you know me. I'm always about whatever the problem is, find the solution. And the solution was in my head at that point. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. And I just decided to make the planner. And literally it's a cheat code for anyone who's starting out in social work and doesn't know how to do things like home visits, direct work, chronologies, all of that stuff is in there. And as well as your day-to-day planning. So I found a gap and I solved it, really.
But do you know what's so mad though? Because when we deep it from, when I think about when we qualified, these things
back in
weren't
2012.
20, you know what I'm saying?
2013.
2014. These things weren't there.
No.
It's just mad to see that
I
how
know,
we
right?
were able to just for us, it was given to us. It's all right, you get on with it. But this, Irene, is a resource. Actually, take the thing out. Like, no. So you got to take it out, man.
What, the planner first?
Yeah, take out the planner first, innit? Because, for
Okay.
guys, what I'll say to you, what Irene is saying, she's right. Because, like, when we qualified, that wasn't really around, innit?
No,
so
it
talk me through, what can they get from this planner?
Let me just see which one I got first.
Yeah. See, I was nice. Look at that. It's got its own wrapping paper, you know?
But do you know what? I have to explain that. Because before social work planner 10 years ago, or 10, maybe 11 years ago now, when I first qualified, I already had a brand. Like, I was already in business, but in fashion. So people were commenting about, Irene, are you doing fashion content or are you doing social work content? But I started with fashion and it was luxury. So that's why I've infused that into this branding.
Okay.
So social work planners, with placement planner, all of that kind of stuff. Whatever you're getting it from a quality place. Like, it's a place of quality in terms of the wrapping, the branding.
Yeah.
I see that through all the way through. That's the reason why there's like wrapping paper, bags and things like that. So yeah, which one is this one? So obviously every year a new
See how clean it looks, like a Christmas present, isn't it? See how clean it is.
Every year there's a new style of a planner, like new covers and whatnot. But I only infuse new content if I feel like there's a gap and there's something that social workers need to know earlier on.
Yeah.
But I try and stick with the same content because it works. But when I find there's another thing that needs to go in that will help them in the practice in the beginning, then I'll add something in. So anything that changes year on year is the cover.
Yeah.
So this is like the social work planner. And within it, there's different things. What do you want me to start with?
No, but I think Irene is good because I just think that in terms of it's almost like a it's just like a kind of like a good guide.
Yeah, it
so
is.
if you're kind of lost, you can refer to that. I mean, look. If you look at there, it says even show the people the camera. Like, come on, man. Like, let's show the people the thing.
Okay,
look at that.
so like things like
okay,
I'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, like, I believe in self-care. If anybody knows me, I promote self-care, and like there's things to do with self-care and to kind of push you to do it. There's like goals. I believe that every social worker, whether you're 9 to 5 or whether you're a business head, you need to have goals of what you want to achieve. You might want to be a service manager by the end of the year. You might want to be a senior in 2 years. You have to have a plan. So I encourage you to do that. If you don't know how to do a visit, like a visit case note the template is in there for you.
Yeah.
What you should be looking out for, things you should be writing in your case note. How to chair a meeting is in there if you become a chair, because obviously if you do CP cases, you need to chair your meetings.
Exactly. But Irene, you see with what you've put in the diary though, like how to chair a meeting, it's like those things at uni are not taught.
It's not
and then
taught,
by the time you get out, unless you're somebody who's confident, but it's kind of like a basic kind of thing, how to chair a meeting, your agenda. It's really, really good.
Yeah. And obviously I come from that field now, so because at the moment I'm a lecturer.
So
I know what you're saying. There's some elements that you won't hear in uni.
Yeah.
So that's why I do these things. And like, if people don't know, one of the things that I think people don't know about me is I'm actually dyslexic. But that didn't stop me doing anything. Like you wouldn't know I'm dyslexic because I can work through it. I know how to teach. I know how to write. I know how to do. I've found my way of doing things. And there's a lot of students that don't know how to do basic things like writing case notes, chairing a meeting. And I wrote this thing for them actually.
Which is really, really good.
And it helps other people.
Which is really, really good.
Do you know what I'm saying? So things like key theories, when you go into placement, you need placement. People are saying placement, the placement planners in my head. But key theories, assessment framework, which you cannot do any assessment without, chronologies, how to do that, genograms, how to find risks, what risks are in terms of neglect, sexual abuse.
A genogram as well.
Genogram. But look, everything that you need is in there.
Is in that planner,
I can't, enhance that enough in terms of I just needed people to be able to know what they're doing, because I've been a manager of somebody who maybe wouldn't know what they're doing in practice. As a manager, you don't mean to be fast-paced, but your job naturally makes you fast-paced. This is kind of to help those students who are not as up to scratch kind of get there without me having to hold their hand. Do you have a planner? The planner has what you need to do in it. Go ahead and do the work you need to do.
So can I ask you, Irene, how have you been able to manage social work planner
man.
and lecturing? Because there must be a massive demand for this.
There's a huge demand. But you know what? I have to be honest, like the source of everything I do is God. Let me just start with that. And I believe that's where a lot of my strength has come from. And I'm big on self-care. You know that I'm always traveling somewhere. I'm always on holiday somewhere, because I believe in looking after yourself as much as you, how can I put it? Looking after yourself as much as you look after others, which is obviously, I'm looking after students.
Yeah.
I'm looking after social work, ASYEs. I do masterclasses.
Yeah.
With people,
yeah.
which people have joined, like, because I'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
But there comes a time when you kind of need to part ways, and this is that time. Obviously, you spoke about it.
Yeah.
I sadly have to leave lecturing this year, and I've spoken to my manager about it. And you know what's sad? The sad part is the fact I love teaching. Like I do this because I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have an amazing manager who plugs my stuff in terms of the social work planner.
Yeah.
She's so like supportive, and I think for me, there comes a time when you have to figure out what you're going to pursue and what you need to fall back on. And right now I can still teach in other ways, like through masterclasses and such.
Yeah.
But being locked into lecturing is very difficult.
But you know what? I really
difficult.
enjoyed, guys, there was a...
We did a joint lecture.
We did a joint lecture, innit?
Yeah.
At the uni, and it was really, really good. You know, I think kind of bringing practice into... you know, the lecture room is not there enough. And it's something it's a gap that I see a lot.
Yeah.
Because I also lecture at different universities as well. And a lot of the students actually go and say, Nana, you know what? I'm really, really happy, really pleased you came, because it makes it very, very real. But it's sad that you're going though, because I speak to so many students. Can I be
honest? It was the hardest decision ever. It took me months to come to this because, like, I always tell my students, I'm for the students. Like, I absolutely love my students. I love teaching. I love being around them. They give me so much jokes. And the fact that I'm able to bring real practice, recent practice into my teaching, I know that's what's missing. And I know that not every lecturer may do that. But, you know, you can't be everywhere at once.
No, you
do you know what I mean? And I've given what I need to give.
Yeah.
I can give back in other ways through social work planner.
Yeah.
But right now, you know, the young people that are coming into my care,
those are the ones you're going to focus on.
They're my focus, yeah.
So, you know, like with the planners, because you know I'm going to ask
There's different versions of planners, yeah.
You know I'm going to ask you in here.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're out and about, and people see you, what's it like, innit?
Can I be honest? It's like this. Like, you force me for 3 days. Honestly, I'm not the one to be like, oh yeah, I do this, I do that.
Yeah.
Like, you won't hear it from me. If you don't force it out of me, you won't hear it. I like to be in the backgrounds. However, one thing that I have become more accustomed to is, even if I don't let people tell me to my face.
Yeah.
I get the DMs, I get the responses, and it's so humbling to see that the things that we're doing is actually impacting people and making their journey easier.
But I told you you're a powerhouse in this game.
I know, but...
And the thing is, like, I don't know why you downplay that though, because you are. Like people, I'm just saying, I'm Irene, one of Irene's biggest fans in it. Like, I lie in it. Like, I'm one of Irene's biggest fans in it. Like, because the thing is, it's a different way of interpreting social work.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it in terms of like your online presence. Even during the pandemic when everybody was locked up, you know, I was watching your videos in terms of what you were saying. And I just saw the comments from so many social workers and students who were on placement. And you kind of like let us know that, listen, you know what, we're all going through the same thing, but actually I'm kind of still here.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So listen, Irene's a powerhouse, you know.
No, you're right, Nana. It's so important. And I think it's so easy to give up as well, but the feedback keeps me going. Like, I see that I'm doing something good. There was one student who came to my masterclass, the PCF masterclass, and a reflective one actually, because it's always back to back. And she was just like, something you've taught me over 2 days in 2 hours, no one at uni has been able to teach me.
Yeah.
And now she smashed her degree in terms of getting high scores, in terms of understanding placement. And that's what it's about. So even if I'm not teaching in a classroom, my masterclasses I'm still teaching. Within the placement planner, it's learning. The placement planner is exactly like the social work planner, but for students. The same sort of format. And I'm teaching in different ways. And the impact is really, really humbling. And it's good to know that it's helping people. That's the point. What's the point of bringing out all these products if not doing anything?
Exactly.
You can bring out 100 products, but if it's not actually useful or impactful, it's useless.
No, it's
in
true,
my
it's
eyes.
true, it's true, it's true, it's true.
In my
And then
eyes,
also on top of that as well, the brunch, because I'm not gonna lie to you, that social. So guys, so don't actually, you know what? I'm doing too much talking. Irene,
no, you're not.
You need to talk about the brunch, because the brunch I'll be real. I actually in 10 years had never been to a social work brunch until
that's brunch. Another gap that I found. So remember we always had social work bridges back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, but when no one was doing anything with social work. So our first event was actually called Business of Social Work, and we got so much stick over that. People were just like, how can you mix business and social work? And I was just thinking, what do you mean? I'm doing it. And it's not about profiting off of people's losses, but it's actually feeding back into social workers, feeding back into students so that they can do a good job. Do you see what I'm saying? So it was a very misinterpreted idea, but we used to do loads of events, and some of you may have come to those events. But then we stopped for a while, and I think, was it 2 years ago? Around October-ish, I was just like, I've got an idea. Because you know what? Everyone's burning out. Everyone's saying, I'm done with social work. And then I called the original crew and said, guys, like, this is what I'm thinking. Let's do a brunch. And let me actually be real. I've got a close friend of mine who actually is one of the owners of Old School R&B Brunch.
Right.
And I sat down with him and I said to him, you know what? This brunch thing, like, social workers need this. They need to exhale.
We don't have a space.
We don't have a space to do it. And he kind of almost gave me the blueprint in general for, you know, putting on a good event. First of all, because before it became social work brunch, you have to be able to put on a good event. Yeah,
you do.
So we sat down and spoke about that. And then, I was like, Marion, you know what? This is what I'm thinking. And Marion's like, I'm down.
Shout out to Marion, by the way.
I'm down.
Shout out to Marion.
And honestly, without Marion, this wouldn't even, it wouldn't continue, because I burn out sometimes. And she's just like, no, Irene, we can do this. And every time, you know, we do a brunch, it's just, it just gets bigger and better. So it's addressing the issue of social workers burning out, addressing the issue of, you know, self-care and well-being. There's so much more to come from social work and brunch. But at the moment, you know, we're doing brunch parties for social workers. Students can come, ASYEs can come. What I love the most about the brunch is that you see everyone from every level. You see students there, you see service managers there, you see managers there, you see senior social workers there. Everybody takes off their professional hat and just that you just become a person and actually just enjoy yourself. And by Monday, when you get back to work, you're on cloud nine.
No, honestly, I think it's good. Like I said, I've been to how many of them? I went to the first one, innit? The first one, the summer one. I think I've been to like 3, innit?
Yeah. What brunch haven't you been? You've been, everything, honestly, everything we've done, you've all been all over it. And I appreciate the support.
No, because Irene, to be honest with you, everything that you said is exactly what's going on within our profession. We talk so much about self-care and the fact that we can burn out. And for me, when I went to the very, very first brunch, take the podcast out of it, it was nice to actually speak to other social workers, not in an office environment, just like we all met, we all talked, we all spoke.
Network, and danced,
everyone danced, they chilled. Everyone was talking about the same thing in terms of what we're going through, because we've never had that. We've never been able to kind of have that space. I think other professions, they do. We've never had that space to be able to just kind of like just chill. Do you know what I mean? And I think it was very, very good to do the brunch.
Yeah, honestly, the brunch, oh my gosh, that's taken off more than anything. If I'm being honest with you. And there's a lot more to come from the brunch, because social workers need it. Like, we work hard. People may not see it, but we work so hard. And as hard as we work, we burn out hard.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So this is like a vehicle to promote self-care, a vehicle to be like, to just remind social workers that you actually matter, your health and well-being matters. There's just so much more to come. But for now, the brunch is back. I think we got called out by dear social worker.
Dear social worker.
Bless her. She called us out, like, somebody told social worker and brunch to get another brunch out there. And do you know what? it is? Just as the same ethos, for me personally, just as the same ethos of luxury has flown through all my businesses, or, you know, there's been the silver lining through all my businesses. That's what we want to do, social work and brunch. It's not just about putting on parties, but it's about quality. So,
you're a perfectionist though, innit?
I am.
I know.
I am.
Everything you do. When me and you talk, like, no. I would rather, if in the year, you see, I could do 6 events, but you know what? Let me do 3, because you want it to be, which I think I like about you. You've always been about quality over quality over quantity. Always being very, I kind of want to make sure that everything is polished to the T. I think it's a great trade.
And the next brunch, after being called out, is on the 21st of December. So tickets should be going out today, actually.
Listen, I need to go and buy my t-shirt, but, you know, literally.
Tickets should be going out today. 21st of December is the next brunch. Our last one was in February. And the reason for that is because, you know, just issues like having a venue that understands the vision.
Yeah.
Having a team that understands the vision. And we think we've got that now, actually.
Good.
And this brunch is going to be very different. It's like more like a Christmas party.
Which is good.
Our usual brunches have like strict timelines from like 12 to 1, bottomless hour, then 1 to 3 food. And then afterwards we just dance and vibe and just chill and network. Whereas this one is just more of like you come and just enjoy yourself, network, cheap tickets, and it's just, it should be a vibe.
No,
it should be a vibe. End of the year party.
No, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What I want to ask Irene is that, so with everything that you've got the planners, you've got the brunch, obviously you're going to be going to a new journey where you're going to you're doing your own provision.
Yeah.
How are you managing the transition whilst also still managing the demand from others to say, Irene, I still need this? How are you managing that transition now, that period?
I think now, so I was saying this to Ash the other day, from New Generation, and about my strategy. So every December, I learned this from my parents. Every December I go away to Italy.
Yeah.
Random country, I know. But like I have a year review of like what I'm doing, where I want to go, how I can streamline things, what I need to shed. And I'm doing that this year in terms of, last year I did it, which is where you saw things like social work and brunch, you saw all of these things come out. This year it's about refining my vision in terms of streamlining team, getting a team around me.
Yeah.
Naturally with the home you'll have a team, but getting a team in place to make things easier, because it's a lot that I'm carrying actually.
To do it on your own.
Yeah. It's a lot that I'm carrying. But there's ways of streamlining things, and you have to be business savvy in terms of, so if you're doing a masterclass, the option for it to be recorded and online and available.
Yeah.
Without me having to physically teach it every single
because
week.
You can't be in some places at once.
I cannot. So this year for me, in terms of business, my mission is to streamline.
Good.
Streamline and being having smart work instead of hard work. So yeah, making things that are available to people via recording, in terms of getting a distributor on board, in terms of shipping the planners, shipping, all of the orders and things like that, so that my hands are a bit more free. Yeah. So that I can focus on what I need to focus on. Similarly with lecturing, I have to step back.
Yeah. That's going to be a big loss though.
I know. It's a massive loss for me too. Yeah. But there's other ways, like guest lecturing, like what you do. Same thing. I can be a guest lecturer. That's not a problem. But I just can't be locked in at the moment because there's just so much going on. Even in my personal life, there's just so much going on. So I think it's really important that I find that balance so that I can be the best I can be for everyone who needs me. Yeah. Yeah.
But also within your personal life as well, your other content, which I didn't talk about, is no. You see, this is why, guys, I'm saying to you that I'm happy I got Irene on it, because you know what, I'm pushing you to. It's good, man. It's good. But also your Diaries of a City Girls content that you do.
Why are you bringing that?
No. Because you know what, Irene is good because. Also, the reason why I think is good, innit? Like, guys, she's gonna clap me after this, innit? After this episode, I'm just gonna get bollocking, innit? But the reason why I say it's good because also that in itself is about life.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So where are you going with it?
What, Diaries of a City Girl?
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh. Like, I would have never spoken about that here. Yeah. However, you can see I'm looking at you.
like I'm gonna kill this guy after this. No, but I want yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I said from the beginning that my faith and, my walk with God is the source and the foundation of everything that I do. And I'm not secretive about it. Yeah. Because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be doing this. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like people, as much as I'm passionate about business, as much as I'm passionate about helping people in business, helping people thrive through teaching, there's also an element of purpose in it. Like it is my purpose. And I've always been a Christian, don't get me wrong. But this year I got baptized and I just thought, you know what?
Amen.
Everything I'm doing with purpose. And that didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of me being at rock bottom and going through a divorce and, having my whole world kind of shatter. And I had to kind of figure out, okay, you know what? I can't stay down. I'm not staying down. I've got people looking at me, looking up to me to get through this, as well as the fact that I know that God has a bigger vision for me. Amen. And I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't say that I'm happy I got a divorce, but I'm saying if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be here in terms of pushing things as hard as I am. And that was my driving factor to, kind of teach people how to navigate marriage through the mistakes that I made, through the lessons that I learned, navigate relationships, and also dignity and integrity. That runs through all my businesses.
Yeah,
in terms of
and
integrity,
it comes through everything that you
dignity
do.
and integrity comes through everything that I do, because it's the source of what I believe, and character as well. Because you can have so many things you do, but if you don't have the character to sustain it, the doors will shut in your face.
And I'm a big believer in integrity, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, in social work as well, I'm very big on professional integrity and how you practice. And also, you mentioned about faith as well.
Yeah.
In work, funny enough, one of the social workers, but she's left the local authority. We used to, at team meetings, we used to do, we need to do it, start doing it again, but we used to do prayer. So we used to, as a team, pray every Tuesday. Yeah. So I'll ask each social worker, even if whether you're like Christian or not, yeah, come on, man. So one of the social workers in my team, she's a pastor who left, and so we were just kind of saying, and even a couple of social workers in my team, like my AP and another social worker there, were quite very, very big on religion. Even me, I've started going back to church, and we're like, you know what, we actually need to pray about our practice.
Yes.
Pray about your practice. Pray that you're making good decisions.
Yes.
Pray for our team. Pray for health. Pray also for like making sure that everything we do is child focused, and pray that we're integral. So I think it's so good, because when I listen to your content, I feel very much kind of like inspired, and also it's kind of like giving me advice in terms of how I need to navigate. So I think what you're doing, Irene, is brilliant. Yeah. I think the spaces and what you're doing, you're kind of like me in the sense that it's not about me. It's about the next generation of people, or whoever's watching it. I hope it touches you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And that same finding a gap and learning from lessons has run through all the businesses. Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of social work planner, the original planner, it came from a gap. It came from me suffering in a particular area. And I thought, I don't want people to suffer like I suffered, because I really suffered in my ASYE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing within marriage. It wasn't the easiest. Do you know what I mean? There were so many pitfalls. But in the pitfalls, there's so many things you can learn to be a better person, to choose better. And that's why Diaries of a City Girl is there. And I'm a big believer in faith and how it's infused into everything I do. So, and I don't believe, Diaries of a City Girl itself is not to make money, actually. Yeah. I don't see it as a business. I see it as a ministry. Yeah. In the sense that even if I have an event and I say, for example, don't charge for the event, it's because I want to impact lives. Yeah. And, in terms of my faith is free. Yeah. It doesn't cost me anything. So that's the mindset I have. That's more of a ministry rather than a business, but it's a platform that I run, and
but it's very, very purposeful, Irene. It is.
Yeah, and it's purpose driven.
It's
like
purpose-driven,
that's the point of it. It's purpose driven.
Yeah, and it's purpose what you're doing. I gotta admit, to be honest with you, like one thing I like now that I'm seeing is you're a lot more visual. Do you remember the first Instagram live we did?
I died.
And I remember Nana, you were like, Nana, what you doing, man? Like, Nana, why you getting me on for? I was like, no, Irene, no, because for me, I'll be real, particularly in
I don't like to be out there, man. But I'm learning.
But do you know what it is, Irene? This profession and what we're doing, like I'll be real, and guys, I'm saying this very openly, and me and Irene, like I say, like brother and sister, we're very, very close. We at a point where we qualified social work in terms of the media and social work influencers, I would say, weren't around.
No,
so
there was no
so
one.
this is like the last, say, like 2020 onwards is where you're seeing social workers come out and having a platform. And it was like, because Irene, I was seeing what you were doing, I was like, no, man, you need to be visual. Nana, I'm not on that. But I saw you to do things like when you're driving, I was like, nah, Irene, let's do an Instagram live. So it was I'm at Instagram live. You're like, Nana, I'm sorry. I said, listen, Irene, come on, it's me. It's me, like, come on, it's me. And then now today you're here because I guess for me, I want people, like what I see in terms of what you're doing, like in terms of what you're doing for the profession and social workers. I want other social workers, and I want what you're doing to kind of have a stamp in social legacy. Do you know what I mean? Because it's purposeful. This wasn't around. There wasn't a brunch that was around. Do you know what I mean? And Irene, like I keep saying to you all the time, you are touching a lot of social workers. Wherever I go to, and people are like, do you know Irene? It's like, yeah. Oh my God, you know Irene? It's like, yeah, because you're doing a lot of good things. So for me, I'm just proud that you're so visual now. And I want you to keep on doing
force.
By force. Yeah, no, but it's good. I want people to keep on seeing the good visual stuff that you're doing, because you are doing a lot of brilliant things.
I feel like I've been forced into that space. By you, definitely.
Yeah.
By a few of us, obviously, even like Marion being like, having pushed yourself out there. Do you know what I mean?
But you need to,
you know what
Irene,
it is?
though.
You know what it is? I think sometimes it's also culture. When you come from some people in culture have this view of, do what you're doing, but don't let anybody know what you're doing.
I know.
It's kind of toxic in a way.
It is toxic, it is.
It's very toxic. And as I'm growing and as I'm doing more, I'm learning that it's actually toxic. Like, as in, if you're doing something good, speak about it. Because even if you think about faith in itself, because really and truly, all I'm doing is giving glory back to the person who gave me strength to do it.
Yeah.
But people don't see it like that. So even I didn't see it like that. So as I'm, realizing where speaking out and being visual or visible fits in, I'm becoming more comfortable.
Which is good. And the key thing, what you said, if the content we're doing is good, you're giving back.
Yes.
The content that I do, that me and Rob are doing.
Amazing content, by the way.
We've been clear. It's not about
social work
us,
on the map.
mentor. Because we knew there was a gap. We knew that, nobody saw two black men coming as professionals doing this. We knew there was a gap. So we're very integral. Your content that you do, it's integral.
Yeah.
It's got purpose. You want to make change. You want to see the next generation of social workers grow. And as you said in the beginning, you were at a place where it's rock bottom for you.
Absolutely.
When you had a certain issue in placement or work. You saw that. You're like, you know what? I don't want anyone else to go through with me.
Even in placement.
Yeah.
That's why I created the placement bundle, the placement planner and the placement, I don't know what it's called. I'll bring it out in a minute. That's why I created the placement stuff, the placement bundle. Because even when I was in placement, I can't lie, my PE was a joke. I feel like I just got the harder part of life, Do
you know how many students reach out?
That's why I became a PE.
Yeah, same.
That's why I became a PE. So my PE was a joker, as in I didn't learn anything from him. I literally had to wing it. And luckily my mum my mum's a lot of things, actually. Yeah, she's probably one of the reasons why I'm here, actually. Social worker, PE, PhD holder.
Shout out to Auntie, Shout out to Auntie.
PhD holder in social work, waving the flag for dyslexic students. She's doing amazing things. And, if she didn't have my back in that placement season, she's a PE as well. So I was like, Mum, I don't get this stuff. I wouldn't have known anything. My PE was a cowboy builder. He was a cowboy builder, like, honestly. So that's why I created the placement, the social work planner, and then the placement planner.
You got the placement planner here,
yeah.
Bring out,
the bundle itself is for, like, I've got something for every journey of a social worker. I'll come to this in the end.
Yeah.
But the placement planner is
you
like...
You want to show it to people then? Look at that.
I'll get it out. The placement planner is for students. So I think there came a time where social workers were like, I've got a lot of things for social workers, but nothing for students.
Yeah.
And obviously, being a lecturer, I know what you need to pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this is almost like a hack. In a way, it's almost like a hack for students, because I know what you need to pass in terms of placement. So the placement bundle, there you go, you can do it, actually.
So
actually, you do it.
So guys, listen. You see this? Yeah, this is a placement planner. So if you're on your 70-day or 100-day, literally, I'm looking at it now.
For apprentices and students,
it's got your 9 to 5. It's got your supervision. I'm just reading out your supervision records. Look, it's even got the roles and responsibilities of key people, your on-site supervisor. I'm practice educator as well, university tutor, dates and topics.
It's right at the beginning is where all the hacks are.
Literally, guys.
Even the placement milestones are there.
Yeah, it's even got, I'm so glad. Guys, abbreviation list. So a lot of the times you hear about social work jargon, so it's got here, SUP, supervision notes, CR, case recording. I gotta admit, Irene, this is cold. This is cold. Guys, look, the midway point checklist.
What you need to have in your midway.
What you need to have in your portfolio.
What you need to have by your final.
This is cold. Nah, Irene, this is cold.
Yeah.
This is cold.
Yeah.
Then you've got the reflective journal, because I know for many students...
You have to reflect.
You have to reflect.
No, there's no way around it.
But she's put in here, look, the reflective theories, Gibbs reflective cycle, SCON, Kolb learning cycle. I mean, it's a hack.
Yeah.
This and the thing is, we're both practice educators, so we know
what you need.
What you need. So this in itself is going to help you. Irene, let me no. That is cold. That is cold.
Yeah.
That is cold.
Do you know what it is? Because I'm a PE and I know how much work we have to put in.
Yeah.
If students don't get what they need to do, it's going to make your job harder.
Yeah, it is.
This makes PE's job easier.
Easy.
Because you know what you need to do. You can't say you don't know because it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cold, you know.
Yeah.
You've got one more in it. What's this one here?
this one is like, okay, as Diaries of a City Girl, maybe it does link in that you brought
it links in, man.
I already had something called the Vision Planner back in the day. But I wanted to refine it and make it. The vision plan is for business owners or people who want to start businesses. I had it and I just thought, you know what, until I refine it and make it what I want it to be, I'm not going to relaunch it. But come January, I'm relaunching the business one.
Hey.
So on every level of a social worker, from student all the way to social worker to business
director,
owner,
to everything.
director, business owner, there's something for you. So like this is the new one. It's called the Vision Planner, step-by-step business guide. You know, there are more things that are going to be added into it.
I'll be real though. I might have to actually purchase this, for myself, because you know what I'm going in at where I'm headed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I might have to. Irene, this is cold.
But yeah, so in the business, there's so much more to be added into it. This is like a demo version that I've created that I'm trying to add things that I think will help business owners. So right at the beginning, it talks about things like, what is your business idea? Have you registered your business? What are your goals? What do you hope to...
And I love this as well, your message. So guys, I'm going to just read this message out in it. So can I read it out, yeah?
Oh gosh.
No, can I read it out though?
Go on.
All right, so at a point in my life, I had big dreams and visions with no plan or structure. I had no business knowledge or financial etiquette. All I had was my vision on a piece of paper and God to guide me. If you are reading this, it means you have a vision. Write it down, make it clear, pursue it with all your heart. Yeah, now I'm not going to read the rest of it, but I'm just saying, it's what I'm saying about Irene. Irene's like, it's purposeful. Like, even this message, she wants you to win. She doesn't even know you. She wants you to win. That's nice,
Absolutely. So yeah, that one is like, it's old, but it's new. It's coming back, but it's going to come back across the two platforms, Diaries of a City Girl and Social Work Planner.
You want people to win, Irene.
I actually do.
You want people to win.
But you know what? Win with common sense. Like things like business goals. Take steps. What steps have you taken? How have you arranged your time? Things like, how have you funded your vision? You need money to fund a vision. You need money to do this. How have you your company questions? Why did you start? Because a lot of times we get lost in business and it's like, why did you start? What was your why?
I hear.
Even in social work, why did you go into it?
Social work,
So yeah, this vision planner is a step-by-step business guide for anyone, whether you're a social worker or not. It is a business guide, and yeah, man, social workers go through so many things, from student to social worker to going to manager to business owner. There's everything in one place. The hub. It's called the hub.
The hub. Irene, I just want to say, I want to thank you so much for coming on today.
Pleasure, man.
I gotta admit, I've really felt inspired by you. Like I said, I told you I was a fan from day one anyway, from watching you. And I think you are really, really inspirational. The work that you do, the message that you give, and the hope that you give to so many social workers who are on their journey, so many students, I think is absolutely amazing. And I just want you to continue to keep doing what you're doing. Like I told you from before, and guys, I'm saying it because Irene's my sister, anything you do, I'm always going to plug it because I want you to win. I'm saying that people guys for watching, everybody's watching, I want you all to win. Irene, I want you to win. Do you know what I'm saying? So no, you're absolutely inspirational.
Thank
Keep
you so
pushing
much.
and pushing and pushing. But where can they find you, innit? Where can they find you?
In relation to social work,
Yes, where can they find you?
you can find me at the Social Work Planner. That's all of this stuff that I've mentioned. In terms of social workers as well, but focusing on well-being, self-care, social work and brunch. The next one is on the 21st, Saturday, 21st of December. And in terms of just life, vision, purpose, navigating the different elements of life is Diaries of a City Girl. And if you're a young person, I'm sure we'll meet along the line.
100%. But guys, thank you so much for tuning to this episode of The Social Worker and the Mentor. You know where to find us. Listen, you like, subscribe, and share. So we'll see you soon, yeah? Take care.